Man, I missed you, Axel. Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, the weekly podcast for movie enthusiasts, current and ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends. Take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched and answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? We missed you, Eddie.
Axel Foley is back. Back where he doesn't belong.
What the hell? This is you. Nah, man, that's not me. That's that actor Wesley Snipes.
This isn't my first time in Beverly Hills.
I saw that.
Did you ever read your own file? Various shootouts, evading the police.
I've been hearing Axel Foley stories since the academy.
Hey, what the hell you think you're doing?
What the hell you think you're doing?
Hey,
Pull over! Now!
You know, this is very embarrassing.
Yeah, well, you should have thought of that before your little joyride back there.
Reunited with all his old buddies.
Hey, sir! You can't keep doing this shit. He shot my runner-up! You have another one?
Never have too much firepower.
Eddie Murphy.
No. Woo! Toledo! You need to share your voice with the world! You really wanna fuck with me, man?
God, I missed you, Axel. Here. What am I supposed to do with that?
Shoot bad guys. The heat's back on.
Drop your weapons!
Jesus Christ. Some things never change.
Beverly Hills Cop.
They love me in Beverly Hills.
Sorry, I had to play the whole thing. They released that trailer probably 3 days ago, and it's like a throwback 80s trailer, and it's, oh man, it was so sick.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Well, joining me today on this very special episode of Should You Watch This, our reoccurring guest, I will do a pod while on vacation at the beach, Sack Lunch.
That is correct. I'm coming to you live from Trancoso, Bahia, Brazil.
Oh my gosh. You sent me pics, and I mean, it is a holiday in the States. It's July 4th that we're recording this. I hope to release this as soon as I can get it edited and out to you guys. But I saw pics of where you're at, and it's definitely not as good as where I'm at. So
It's beautiful here. It's our second time in the last 7 months coming here. I've gotten a lot of golf in. I've gotten a lot of beach in, a lot of family time. It's been amazing.
Oh man. Well, dude, thank you so much. And, welcome back. We did it. We got Sack Lunch to watch all Beverly Hills Cop movies, and now we just watched the latest one, Beverly Hills Cop: Axel F. So,
You know, most of the time going into these, we'll usually have a decent sense of where we feel like the other person is. The way that I will, and I'm excited to hear all your takes, but I just want to preface this pod with saying two things can be true at once.
what?
Going into this pod, I think that you're going to hear, I feel like I'm going to contradict myself a lot on this one.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means, but I hope it's good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I want to tell the listeners, we already mentioned that you are on the beach. You're literally on the balcony of your hotel. So if there's some jungle noises and some splashes and other things, just forgive us. We're just trying to give you what you need on this holiday.
That's right.
So
That's right. You might hear monkeys. They were on the patio earlier. They were trying to get into the kitchen. So if you hear them little rugrats, I'll be sweeping them out of here.
all right. Well, yeah, forgive us for that. It will be all worth it. All right, the description for this one. Axel Foley returns to Beverly Hills after his daughter's life's threatened. Okay, that's right. I just kind of read it a little weird. It includes old pals John Taggart and Billy Rosewood working to uncover a conspiracy. I like that description, actually.
Yeah, nailed it.
Directed by Mark Malloy. Mark Malloy.
Okay.
This is his directorial debut, dude.
No.
Yeah.
What?
He only did a few
You don't-
Apple commercials prior to this.
What? You cannot give, because look, I know we're going to talk about budget and things like that, but there's no way this was a small budget.
I tried to look it up. Maybe it's out there because a lot of the stats that I looked up yesterday are going to be changed today, you know? So yeah, Mark Malloy, he was a graphic designer. So I'm going to cut him some slack because that's what I do. And
Man
now,
after your own heart.
yeah, he's directing big budget Netflix resurgence sequels from the 80s. I love it. Top billed stars are, of course, Eddie Murphy, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Taylor Page. Also featuring Kevin Bacon. And the gang's back. Judge Reinhold, John Ashton, Paul Reiser, and my boy Serge, played by Bronson Pinchot.
I'm a big Joseph Gordon-Levitt fan. Everybody loves some bacon. So, but I had no idea either one was in this because we kind of talked about it that I wasn't watching any trailers.
Correct.
And so getting into it, it was like, oh, that's awesome. I love these guys. So the cast was great.
Yeah. Having them, and again, we're trying to keep this spoiler free, and also the format is similar for the listeners. We're going to keep this the same format, but it might be a little more free flowing. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, having those cameos / characters beloved characters that we missed in 3 and some of them in 2, it's nice to have them back.
Yeah, for sure.
Runtime 1 hour and 58 minutes. Rated R. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says action, comedy, and Rotten Tomatoes decided to add in crime. Thanks.
Your favorite.
Thanks, Rotten Tomatoes. You've mimicked IMDb's genre of action, comedy, crime. Stop adding crime. I don't understand. Everything's a crime. It's a crime that you put crime in the genre. That's what I'm going to say.
That's right.
Rating from IMDb, there's none yet. At the time that I did my research late last night, no rating yet. But let me just do some impromptu checking. I know this is not normal. I like to be prepared, but let's see if there's something in there that
I bet there will be.
It's up there now. 6.7 out of 10 from 9,779 reviews. But it wasn't up. It wasn't up yesterday, and it debuted yesterday. So 6.7. Rotten Tomatoes.
That's users.
Correct. Sorry, I keep moving away from the mic because I have a makeshift setup here. I'm also going to compare my Rotten Tomatoes score from yesterday versus today. I'm assuming that it's probably going to have changed.
I would imagine better.
Oh, this is interesting. So yesterday it was at a 63% from 93 critics. Today it's at a 65, so it's gone up, and there's 110 reviews. And yesterday the audience rating was 73% from 100 audience ratings, and now it's gone up to 78% from 500 plus ratings. Every day it seems like it's climbing.
Yeah, I would imagine you're getting kind of the hardcore fans coming in.
Yeah. I would say yes. At the time of this recording, you can only stream this on Netflix, as this is a Netflix joint. That'll be probably in my beefs next episode. But for sure. It's a little beefy for me for that it's not available in theaters.
Little trailer beef.
Yeah, and fortunately I had a 133-inch screen, and I felt like I was at the theater at my house. I actually went. I had one of my buddies who has been on the show. His name's Mark. He was on Shaun of the Dead episode, which was great. A shout out to Mark. He went to the theater and bought theater popcorn and brought it to my house.
Wow.
Like, what an amazing time. We had snacks. We had peanut M&Ms. We had Mountain Dew. We had Coke Zero. We had popcorn. We had Japanese like potato snacks. We were ready. It was awesome.
Okay.
But yeah, Netflix. You can only watch it on Netflix. So try to watch it on the biggest screen and the most speakers that you can connect to your screen as possible. That's my recommendation.
Amen to that.
Also, if you choose our highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest Permanent Collection. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest to give me money. All right, dude. I only had from yesterday to pull from, so it's light, but we do have reviews.
Yes.
Popcorn reviews, the reviews.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
All right, I only have one out of 10, and then I have 3 10 out of 10, or I have 4 10 out of 10s to make up for the lack of 1 out of 10. So do you want to do all the 10s and leave the crap at the end, or you want to start with the...
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Our first out of 4. This is a special episode, so things are different. Our first out of 4, 10 out of 10. Nostalgia all the way, says U.S. Jig Jetted. U.S. Get Guaranteed. And he gave this review on July 3rd, yesterday. U.S. Jig Guaranteed says, has all the makings of a classic, just like they used to in the 80s. Better than the third one. Better than the second one. But you can't beat the first one. So with that said, it's hilarious and has action. Axel does his thing in the movie like he does in the first and second movie. The music brings back memories as they used in the movie. Not really sure how those words work together, but we're reading it as I see it. He has a daughter and no mention of the TV show that I'm presuming was a bad dream. By the way, I looked up the TV. They filmed a pilot for Beverly Hills Cop, and it was going to be about...
What, really?
Yeah, dude. It was amazing. It was his son who was a cop in Beverly Hills, and he comes to like mentor him and help him out. And they filmed it, put a lot of money into it. And I watched all the scenes that Eddie's in, and it was awesome. It kind of felt like a precursor to this movie. And at the end of the filming, they're like, hey, if this does well, we want you to come back to the show, not just as a cameo, in the first episode. We want you to be a reoccurring star on the show. And he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. And then it just got canceled. It didn't even come out.
Who was doing it? Fox?
No, I think it was like one of the major, like ABC or NBC or somebody. Yeah.
Huh.
Crazy, right?
Okay.
I mean, look it up. It's a fun, like the one I saw on YouTube was a clip about just his scenes, just Eddie's scenes. Amazing. Loved it.
Dang.
So missed out on that because Eddie's just like, I'm not doing TV. He's like old school. He's an old school, like, I'm a leading man. I don't do TV. That's not what I do, even though that's kind of switched nowadays. But yeah, he's out on TV. U.S. Tad continues and says, the story is a mixture of 1 and 2 and mentions briefly his escapades. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was a good addition, and Taggart can't do the action to help Foley. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
not far off.
Yeah.
Not exactly insightful, but
no.
Yeah.
Not very helpful. He was just gushing about the 80s, which is fine.
Right.
All right, next 10 out of 10. Yes. I'm 23 and I first watched the first one when I was 8. Figure that one out. the math doesn't check out, brother. I like
Wait
it.
a minute. Hold on a second. Why doesn't the math check out?
I'm 23 and I first watched the first one when I was 8. Oh, okay, maybe.
So 15 years ago.
I thought maybe he was making a joke about his age. Okay, I'm stupid.
I'm like, you go, that doesn't check out. And I'm thinking, what do you mean?
Well,
of course it checks out.
For me, I thought it was like, it came out 40 years ago. So I thought he's just making a joke about like, oh yeah, I'm young at heart. But no, apparently he caught it when he was 8.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay, we're back on track. The reviewer's name is Isaiah Clay 62531, and he also gave the review on July 3rd.
It went first and last name, huh?
Yeah, look him up. He got doxxed. Isaiah says this movie made me feel really good in a way I cannot explain. That seems a little fishy, but I like it.
Yeah.
My dad got me hooked to the original when I was young, probably too young to watch BHC. The first one is one of my favorite movies ever. I've always had an old soul, even though I'm only in my 20s. I love 80s movies, and this 4th installment of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise really took me back. What, back to the 2000s?
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about Beverly Hills Cop, aside from Murphy, of course, was Taggart and Rosewood. This movie made me cheer during a particular Taggart scene without spoiling. Lauren Bafel did amazing with Faltermeyer's music. 10 out of 10 from me.
Like, I just picture this kid going on weekends to his father's.
Yes.
And if he's watching BHC, like, he's got to, probably adopted the F word at 8 years old. And I can just see him talking to his dad, like, can you please pass the bucket of fucking KFC? Oh, man.
Dude, this is what it is. He's probably, his dad and mom are divorced. He goes on the weekends to his dad's. His dad's like, "Hey, let's watch Beverly Hills Cop. This is the sickest movie when I was a kid." And he's like, "I know your mom's gonna be pissed, so let's watch it, and also have as much joke food as you want."
Yeah, Disneyland dad. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. All right, third, 10 out of 10. Easter eggs in July. Damn it, Axel. And this one's given by Shaners Up. Shaners Up.
I didn't think there was any Easter eggs. Were there?
Well, get ready, because Shaner thinks there are.
Okay.
I've waited since my childhood to see this movie, with only rumors about maybe happening or not. Finally, Eddie's back, and he's got the gang back to the 90210. If you grew up with this like I did, then grab a white rabbit and enjoy the cleanup, because this blast from the past is tastefully done. Okay, well, grab a white rabbit and then enjoy the cleanup. Is that sexual?
Is that like a drug reference?
I don't know.
You went sexual, I went drug.
I don't know. Grab the white rabbit, enjoy the cleanup.
I have no idea.
Okay.
And look, I'm usually the resident, drug expert.
Yeah, you know all about the drug.
But I don't know nothing about grabbing white rabbits.
Well, the white rabbit reference keeps coming back because he says, that little rabbit left little chocolate Easter eggs all over the place. Everyone,
I have no idea.
I don't know, dude. I don't. That's why I put it in here. Everyone was great and well played. Just a smooth ride from start to finish. And by finish, you're going to need a napkin and a Kleenex for the fan service at the end. Whoa, that definitely is sexual.
I don't know, dude. That's weird.
And by finish,
what's wrong with this guy?
You're going to need a napkin or Kleenex.
Oh. Okay.
All right, let's keep going. My face hurts so bad from joy and smiles. I feel like Eddie when he see his bank account. 10 out of 10. He also made some spelling errors, but
Shocker. Wouldn't have guessed that. Like somebody might want to go check his radiator in the basement to see if somebody's chained to it.
oh my gosh. Black Snake Moan, dude.
Oh, man.
Oh, all right. Here's our last 10 out of 10. One of the classic and modern best movies I have ever seen, says Alicia Cuthbert. I didn't know Alicia Cuthbert was a fan of Axel Foley.
She is.
Yeah.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, she got on, famous Alicia Cuthbert got on IMDb and gave a review on July 3rd.
Okay.
Alicia says, one of the classic and modern best movies I've ever seen in the world and in the universe. I don't know. Is she going into Mars to watch movies? Like where else? The world is enough. Okay. So everyone watch this. This is what we have been waiting for. This is like Bat Boys. What? This is like Bat Boys. Old age is gold.
What is Bat Boys?
Alicia says that's what people say. This is like Bat Boys. I don't know what that means. This is I don't know if I got enough sleep last night because none of this is making any sense.
Nothing. No.
All right. Alicia keeps saying, so watch this before you pass away. Oh my gosh.
What? I'm sitting here wondering how humanity has come so far with motherfuckers like this in this world.
Oh my gosh. Before you pass away, because you may never seen this if you die without watching this.
What?
That doesn't even make sense. All right. This is brilliant. But the black man is the main character. That is a little bit of a disappointing for the people who like to watch white people. Oh my God.
Oh my, this cannot. Okay, we've alluded to it a couple of times. What is it about BHC that brings out the racist?
Bro, it keeps going. It keeps going. But anyways, African American people are also good, and sometimes they're the best for acting. Oh gosh.
What is wrong with this world?
I cannot believe this. There's no moderators on IMDb. Like,
seriously.
Use some AI to double check some of these.
Holy cow. That's unbelievable.
Did you know that Alicia Cuthbert was so racist?
I did not.
I thought she was pretty chill, but I guess not. She goes on to say, I say again, watch this. I repeat, watch this. 10 out of 10.
She repeated. I mean, all I can do is just denounce that wholeheartedly.
Correct. It's not, none of these are great, but listen, the pool of reviews were very low. All I had was like 20 total to pick from. So the bottom of the barrel was started. It started low.
For sure.
All right. Last one. And this is the only 1 out of 10. Recycling at its worst, says Waste Bucket.
Okay.
Waste says, I've lived through the early BHCs and enjoyed greatly, being in early to late teens, the two first ones, period.
Okay.
With that history and background, this episode is worst kind of recycling of ideas. I love how people call movies episodes, like, because they're so just used to binging crap. It's like, dude, This is a film. This is a movie.
Correct.
This episode is worst kind of recycling of ideas, characters, and this the low point. Actors, exclamation point. What?
Okay.
From earlier episodes, I mean. Come on. Let the old people rest. It's obvious they can't come up with anything new and fresh anymore. Frowny face emoji. So why is this movie even made? Why not come with something original, something new? After seeing this, the new generation is likely to find the older ones and find them way more entertaining than this. I don't know better word than recycling. which is good for environment, but for movies, not so much. 1 out of 10.
That was pretty funny, actually. Look, I said it at the beginning of this pod. 2 things can be true at once. Some of what he said was accurate, not much, and some of what he said was complete foolishness.
Correct. Waste bucket. I'm sorry, you're a waste.
You're a waste bucket. Waste bucket.
You're a waste bucket, dude. All right, dude. That brings us to should or shouldn't you watch this? All right, so this is a lot what I'm calling a live should or shouldn't you watch this. So I think we just come up with as many reasons as we can on the fly, because I hadn't watched this before I did the research. So I think we've said it multiple times over the last couple months that if you like Eddie Murphy, this is for you.
For sure, they delivered on more.
Correct. Yeah, if you played our should or shouldn't you watch this game last week of flipping a coin to see if you should watch Beverly Hills Cop 3 and you landed on heads and you had to watch it, this is going to be a breath of fresh air. So that's reason number 2. If you played the game and you went through it, this will be awesome for you. What other reasons? We got 2 or 3 more.
Yeah, I think it was mentioned a couple of times in those reviews, nostalgia. I think, and I mention this all the time, that it just, anything that can harken back to simpler times, I'm for it.
Correct.
I'm all for it.
Correct.
And yes, it certainly was a modern film, but if you like nostalgia, this is 100% for you.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I watched an interview with Jerry Bruckheimer and the director. They were both sitting together in one of those kind of like press junket things. And the interviewer was just asking them, holy cow, Mark Malloy, we don't even know who you are. And you got this crazy movie out the gate. And Jerry Bruckheimer looked over at him and then looked back at the interviewer and said, I needed to find someone who was scared crapless and that would do everything in his power to make this the best movie he could ever make. It's so he wouldn't let anyone down and he would just lose sleep at night. And then he looks over at the guy and Mark's like, yep, I lost a lot of sleep and I was very worried. And I just went through everything I could to make this as good as I possibly could.
That's awesome.
Because his whole career is on the line. That. Yeah, I love it. I kind of like it too. All right.
Why else should we watch this?
We talked about this in Beverly Hills Cop 3. The score was awful and sometimes just missing, just nothing, no score. This one, it brought it back in a very amazing way and then added a bunch of 80s and 90s rap songs that were sick and
that were actually remake rap.
Yeah, they were remakes, and then they had a full orchestra do the Axel F theme song, which in the BHC 3 I mentioned it before, it was almost like they didn't, it was like someone who didn't know how to make music was like, let's make it again. And they just didn't do it right. But this one was
wasn't close.
Yeah, it was full and rich and still synth, but had some orchestra behind it. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Agreed.
Score, I think, is a great reason to watch this. Combined with the nostalgia of the 80s songs, if you like that, which right now the 80s is I know it's pandering to people like you and me, but there's a resurgence of people liking 80s stuff, and not just for us, but everybody. Yeah,
look, I think there's a resurgence in exactly why nostalgia plays such a big part, especially for our era, our age group.
Correct.
Because we grew up in the best possible time where it was still simple. We had these awesome burgeoning technologies, but they just kind of complemented and didn't take over the way that technology does today.
Correct.
So I think that everybody, even young kids, are looking back at what we had and they want it.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that.
Pre-AIDS, mid-Coke. It was a great time to be alive, dude.
Damn right.
And you know what's interesting? I've noticed, at least here locally, there's a resurgence for the movie theaters are like, hey, we're just going to start playing old movies. Like there's so many old movies that are coming back because there's nothing good. And so they're just like, well, we know we're going to sell a lot of tickets to Harry Potter. Let's re-release those. Let's re-release, like, everything's coming back, like Aliens coming back, like all this stuff. And it's just awesome because you get to go and watch these again in the theater because the new stuff isn't up to snuff.
It's just, we talk about it enough to where listeners know where we stand on today's production. It's absolute dog shit.
I mean, it's not all, but yeah, it's more, there's too much. Like, let's say Hollywood makes 100 movies in a year, maybe only make 50. Pare it down, spend more time with the script, spend more time with, maybe spend, more money on this than that, and make better stuff. Just make better things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we are missing originality. And look, I said two things can be true at once. This is not an original theme. It's BHC 4, but it still was kind of original in that it followed the blueprint of your 80s style original movie.
Correct.
So that's why I say two things can be true at once. Yeah,
I would agree with that. Mark did a great job of mixing in the old and the new. It was good. So I think that's another great reason to see that fusion happening on screen. It's really nice. It's really nice. That could be our last reason to watch this.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe as a bonus, I kind of say this a lot too. I don't mind, even if nothing could be worse than BHC 3, but I love hanging out with my friends, my movie friends. Like if they're going to make something else, I'll be there to hang out with you, even if it might not be as good as it could be. I like it. And who knows? It took 30 years to get this one. We might not have any more, so this might be our last time to hang out with these guys.
Well, I mean, it's certainly the last with, the kind of the three main characters. I can't imagine they would do another one before some of them start to pass on.
Yeah. I mean, Judge Reinhold could say in it, Eddie still looks like he's 40 years old. He's 61. Yeah. So he's looking really good. So yeah, I would love another one, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Any other reasons before we get into by the numbers?
No, I think that's good.
All right.
Blank. For God's sake, just give me the damn number.
All right. Again, I already apologize for this. This is going to be what it is. Okay. It is streaming only. So it's early beef, big beef for me. This very well could have played so well in the theater. It would have been amazing to see it in the theater with a bunch of other people. So that's a bummer. 30 years after the third one and 40 years after the first one, that's crazy to me. And I did look up the box office, or not box office, the budget. There isn't a box office haul, obviously, because it's streaming only, but what do you think the budget was for this?
I would probably say 115 million.
Whoa, I thought you were going to hit it right on the nose. It's 150 million.
Wow, man. That's such a big budget for a Rook.
makes it Netflix most expensive, one of Netflix most expensive movies.
I could see that. You could also see in the production that there was some money spent.
Oh yeah, dude. Lots of it felt really good. Well, and the guy Mark mentioned in that interview with Jerry Bruckheimer that he's like, everything that I could do in camera, I did. So
yeah,
there's a sequence with a helicopter that I think 98% of it was whoever the stunt guy was flying that thing. Unbelievable.
That was awesome. It does. By the way, the monkeys are back. Holy cow! There's like 6 or 7 of them. You could. I got this monkey on the roof, like literally looking at me, just like trying to figure out whether or not he's gonna get any food. You could see. Didn't you feel like this had a Bruckheimer feel to it? Like
yes.
It had his DNA on it.
Correct. Yeah. And they asked him. He's like, "Have you seen Beverly Hills Cop 3?" And he's like, "Nope."
Okay.
So
I will throw one more number in there, and I don't know how many more you've got, but I was at the same time as you were jumping in to look at budget, I was going to, and then you found it really quick, but it is number 1 on Netflix currently.
Yeah, easily. I don't know when, maybe in our next pod when we do another movie, which we most likely will, maybe I can throw in some like, homework and see the streaming numbers that it has. Hopefully it's high.
Yeah.
I don't have many numbers. I have like 2. So I'll just hit him to you. I just like this quote from Eddie Murphy when he was doing an interview for People magazine. He says, "It was a hard one. I did Axel Foley when I was in my 20s. I'm not in my 20s anymore. It was an action movie, so it was a rough one, but we got through it." For the record, Eddie Murphy was 23 when he did the first movie, and he's now 63 in Axel F.
Okay.
Dang, he was young, 23.
Again, he was quintessential 80s man.
Yeah.
But I think you would agree that they looked old.
Eddie didn't. I don't think Eddie did.
Yeah, I mean, black don't crack, but yeah, the rest certainly looked.
I liked how they used, Taggart as like they were making fun of how he's old, because he's old. He's probably 70, in his 70s. So I love how they're like, he's frustrated. Some of this might be a little spoilery, but like I love the vignette where he's in his office and he's arguing with his wife and he's looking at like 30 pill bottles and he's like, I don't know which one to put with the other one. I just love how craggly and grumpy he is. And yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fine. And I kind of, because he was like a coming out of retirement captain or whatever, it didn't bother me that he was so old. When I see him in interviews, I feel sad for him, but in the movie it fit and it didn't bother me. His age.
I'm sorry. I got you. Goddamn monkey.
Are they like attacking you?
One of them just tried to get into the window of the kitchen.
It's like Planet of the Apes in Brazil right now.
Oh man. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
I need to get rid of this one monkey. Get out. Oh. Man, oh man. What a life, huh? Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. We had to take a monkey break. It's some monkey business.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I only have 2 more. I thought this was interesting. Judge Reinhold's first role after a 7-year hiatus.
What was his last one?
I don't know.
Okay. Must have been profound.
Look it up, listeners. I don't know. And then I tried to look up a F word count, and this is all. I like to just read this because I think it's funny. That I couldn't find an actual count, but we talked about this a lot over the course of the last 3 movies, that the ratio of F words when it goes down, the quality of the movie goes down, right? This one had many F words. So quality went up.
I would still say that they were soft with them.
Okay. They're in there. And they're good.
They're definitely noticeably in there for sure.
Well, and let me hit you with this other thing. So it says, it is imperative to note, this is on like some parent website. It's like, hey, watch out when your kids go see this. But it says, it is imperative to note that the dialogue is rather vulgar and the characters are known to use explicit language, including the F word and the S word, among others. Swearing and using abusive terms is a common occurrence and employed for laughter. One of the sources of humor in the movie is the use of racial jokes and insults, and therefore may be considered as distasteful by others. It's the first time they used the N-word in Beverly Hills Cop.
In BHC. But it wasn't a hard R.
No, it was. I thought it was hilarious, if I can say that, in 2024.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was a soft A. So, I think it should be acceptable as long as the right people are saying it.
Correct. I tried to look up a body count. I couldn't find it, so I apologize for that too. But that's all I got.
Wait, so did you have an F word count?
No, I did. It's too early.
What would you put it at, though?
I would say high 20s.
Yeah, I was going to go more like in the 50-ish range.
Whoa, because the first one only had 26.
The first one had more than 20.
No, it didn't. So this one had more than that, in my opinion.
Okay.
Which is fine with me. For this movie. I'm not like I don't curse all the time, so, but like, yeah, for this, that's what you need. It's the recipe. When you want 7-Up, you got to have some limes in there, man. That's just part of how you make it. So,
all right, oh, man, I got you.
All right, anything else before we move on?
No.
All right,
I think that's good.
At this point, there will be spoilers up ahead, and to be honest, we're just going to hit the button and we're going to keep recording. So, but we're not going to release this for the next day. I think I'm going to do today and tomorrow. So you'll get today's and tomorrow. So it'll be a little bit of a break. But if you want to watch, go watch and then come back and join us for our spoiler version of Beverly Hills Cop: Welcome back to the 80s, Axel F. I'm on the social medias. Oh, wait, let's do this. As long as we're screwing up my monetization. I'm on the social medias. I dare you to message the Great Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you'd share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. For the cost of a cup of coffee, you can help the Popcorn Priest support his movie addiction and allow him to keep giving you these labor of love reviews. At the Priest, for the Priest, please visit patreon.com/Popcorn Priest to hand out some pennies and nickels. Lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Easier than easier than, I don't know. I don't even have a quip. I'm sorry. As always, thanks for listening, and thanks to my special guest, Mr. Sack Lunch. Always a pleasure, my man.
Let's re-rack it, baby.
Yeah.